right, we're back, folks. UFC 304. This is the big one for the month. I've been waiting for this one. Great card. You got 2 title fights. If you guys need a place to bet, BetUS, promo code Iceman. August 3rd, I'll be competing at the Fight to Win Jiu-Jitsu brown belt in the gi. 170. So just been training, man. I'm looking at the camera right now, man. This cauliflower ear is just getting brutal. Jesus, you guys, I need to start draining that again. Dang. Or I just keep it. All right, it's a badge of honor. Like these guys say, if you see someone with cauliflower ears, do not fight that person. Absolutely. Yeah, this fight this weekend, man. Leon Edwards, the rematch with Belal Muhammad. I like it. I like this matchup. Everyone hates on Belal, but hey, what are you gonna do, man? The guy's he's on a great win streak. He's legit, man. And even some of those people were hating on him for a while for not being a finisher, but he got some finishes, man. Even finished Sean Brady. Super impressive, man. Really impressive. So let's start with Leon Edwards, right? The champ. Been absolutely flawless in the last, 9 years? Has never lost a fight in the last 9 years. Right, his last fight he lost was to Kamaru Usman. And Usman, other than that, man, this guy's been killing everybody. He's got great wins. Beat Luque, beat Gunnar Nelson, beat Dos Anjos, beat Usman twice, Colby Covington, Nate Diaz. He's got some pretty big wins, man. Really impressive here. Taking on our boy Belal Muhammad. Remember the name. I do like Bilal's chances in this one. I'm not going to lie. Everyone's going to think I'm crazy. Like, bro, you're crazy. Leon's going to smoke him. Look at the last fight. Leon was piecing him up. Sure. I agree. Leon was getting the better of him. But I do believe ever since Belal started training with Khabib and the boys in Islam, this guy's game stepped it up even more, man. And you see that when he took on Sean Brady, destroyed Sean Brady. I've never seen anyone do that to Sean Brady, man. And, destroyed Gilbert Burns. He's got great wins, man. I'm going to go with the underdog on this one. I'm betting against everyone. I know it's in Leon's hometown and all this, but I do believe there is some holes in Leon Edwards' game, and clearly it's the grappling. Is Leon a great grappler? He is a very good grappler. Is he an elite grappler? He is not an elite grappler, but he is an elite striker. He's a very good striker. I will give him that. But you seen the last round of the Colby Covington-Edwards fight. Colby Covington was able to get Edwards down. You see the Usman fight with Edwards, the second one. He was being out-grappled. And if Belal Muhammad is very good somewhere, it is that grappling department. If he is able to get this to the ground, I think it's going to be Belal's world, man. And he's training with the right team. I think he's in the perfect team for his style, especially. I think it's going to be perfect, man. And looking at him, watching some of his interviews, he's shredded right now. He's shred city. He looks like he's in just tremendous shape, man. And I'm going to go with Belal Muhammad on this one. I think his grappling, if he's able to turn this into a grappling match, he's going to be able to beat Leon Edwards. But it's going to be a tough one. He is a big underdog, plus 200 in England. Up next, we got Tom Aspinall taking on Curtis Razor Blaydes. So this is a rematch. Their first fight, Tom Aspinall blew out his knee, like quick, under 20 seconds into the first round. Just, blew out the knee. Didn't really be able to see that performance, unfortunately, right? But now we got the rematch. Curtis Blaydes, on the other hand, his last fight, he was getting beat up pretty good, man. Jalton Almeida was taking Curtis Blaydes down. He was one of the first guys I've really seen that, like, taking Curtis Blaydes down and just, like, it was easy. Curtis Blaydes can wrestle. Curtis Blaydes is a great wrestler. He's got a great, I believe it's a JUCO national wrestling background. I'm not sure if he won state, but he's a very strong wrestler. And Tom Aspinall, he's got very good grappling as well. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I have a feeling this fight is going to be on the feet. I think Tom Aspinall has good enough grappling where he can stuff Curtis's takedowns, and vice versa. I think Curtis has good enough wrestling where he can keep the fight on the feet. And, now it's a striking match. And who's the better striker out of the two? Gotta go with Aspinall, man. Aspinall's hands are super fast. And they have a common opponent in Sergey Pavlovich. They both fought Sergey pretty recently. Tom Aspinall completely destroyed Sergey Pavlovich, and Sergey Pavlovich completely destroyed Curtis Blaydes. Now, I know styles make fights and blah, 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 and you might think, oh, what if his knee blows out again? That was, freak injuries can happen. But I'm not counting on it. And I do think this fight's going to stay on the feet, and I think Aspinall is going to get the KO because his hands are super fast, man. And at that weight, 6'5", 260, you don't even need to hit hard. You just need to land. When you're 260, all you need to do is land, bro. Especially with an MMA with those small gloves, it's game over. Bobby Green, or should I say King Green, changed his name, fighting Paddy the Baddy. So Bobby Green's last fight, he took on Jim Miller, looked great against Jim Miller, but there was a few times in that Jim Miller fight where he looked like he was hurt pretty bad. Jim Miller had him hurt a few times, and yeah, that was, not impressive in that performance because Jim Miller is 50 now? And Paddy Baddy, he's not even 30, 29 years of age. He's got a great record too, 21-3. That's a very good record. He's on a nice win streak here, right? 7 wins in a row. His last loss, against Soren Bach in 2018, so 6 years ago. Now, I know you guys are going to say, man, look at Jared Gordon won that fight, and it is what it is, man. So I thought Jared, took the fight. It was a close one, but they gave it to Paddy, whatever. And that sort of makes me think, hey, if this is a close one in England, who are they going to give it to? Are they going to give it to King Green? Probably not, man. They're probably going to give it to Paddy. But I think out of the two, I think Bobby Green is the better fighter out of the two. I definitely think he's the better striker out of the two. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, I might give the edge to Paddy. Wrestling, I might give the edge to Bobby Green. His takedown defense is pretty good. And, 37 years of age, he's getting a little older. I don't know where his head's at these days, but I think Bobby Green might be able to piece up Paddy the Baddy and win a decision in this one. Up next, Christian Leroy Duncan taking on the RoboCop. In his backyard, they have a similar opponent in Armen Petrosian. And Armen Petrosian won a unanimous decision over Christian Leroy Duncan, and he had a very close fight with the RoboCop. It was a split decision, close fight. But RoboCop's a savage, man. RoboCop is a savage. I love watching this guy fight, win or lose. This guy comes in and he's kill or be killed. His fights are exciting, man. He goes out there and just throws heavy leather. His last fight knocked out Brad Tavares, who's, tough Samoan. Samoans are hard to knock out, man. And, he took out Brad Tavares. Impressive. Finished Julian Marquez, finished Chidi Njokwani. He's got some great wins, man. I think I'm leaning with the underdog on this one. I'm going to go with the RoboCop. I know Leroy, he's a very good striker himself. And, but I just don't think he's fought the same level of competition as the RoboCop. So that's why I'm slightly leaning towards RoboCop on this one. Go with the underdog. Now, this one's interesting. Featherweight bout. Arnold Allen taking on Giga Chikadze. Giga is a very, very high-level striker. If this match was a kickboxing match, Giga would completely crush Arnold Allen. He's a much better pure striker. I'm just saying, just a kickboxing. match, right, I would put my money on Giga Chikadze. He's a very, very high-level striker. He's a guy who's competed in Glory and all those kickboxing organizations, right, the big ones. So he's a very, very high-level striker. You know, he did have that bad performance to Calvin Kattar, but I believe that was due to more of the grappling. Calvin Kattar came out, took Giga down, and then Giga's striking just never looked the same after that takedown by Calvin Kattar. He looked like he was exhausted. But his last fight, he came in there and fought Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres, and he looked very good. Alex Caceres is a good striker himself. And Giga, man, his kicks looked so fast against Caceres. Now he's taking on Arnold Allen, who is a beast. Arnold Allen, you know, well-rounded, coming off 2 straight losses, though, which he needs to get back on the win column. Movsar Evloev completely dominated Arnold Allen, outgrappled him, and then, of course, Max Holloway destroyed Arnold Allen. Max Holloway, you know, one of the GOATs in that division. But other than that, Arnold Allen has been absolutely killing it, man. He's got some big wins. Beat Dan Hooker in the first round, knocked out Dan Hooker. Beat Sadiq Youssef. The Calvin Kattar fight was a knee injury, so I'm not going to say anything about that. But he's got some big wins. Beat Gilbert Melendez, OG from the game. The Scrap Pack. It was like him, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, Jake Shields, Gilbert Melendez. That Scrap Pack back in the day was insane. Yeah, clearly odds makers have Arnold Allen as a huge favorite, which actually gets me wondering why. Because if this fight stays on the feet, which it might, because Arnold Allen likes to strike, Giga Chikadze might be able to piece him up, and he's been working on his grappling and his takedown defense. Now, is that going to be enough? I don't know, but I'm gonna take a big leap of faith on this one, and I'm gonna go with Giga Chikadze. I believe if he can keep this on the feet, land them fast lightning kicks like he does, he might be able to win the decision against Arnold Allen. Because finishing Arnold Allen is going to be tough. He's tough, you know, and Giga does have a significant height advantage and a reach advantage. This one is going to be interesting. So Arnold Allen's keys to victory, obviously, take this fight to the ground or just mix up the grappling with the striking, and that should be able to get it done. And Giga, plain and simple, keep the fight standing at all times. But I'm going to go, just because of the odds, I'm sort of leaning towards Giga because the fact that they're giving you plus 210 odds for that fight. You know, Arnold Allen is coming off 2 straight losses, so that says a lot too. Nathaniel Wood taking on Daniel Pineda. Daniel Pineda just has not looked the same after coming over from the PFL. I don't know what it is, man, but in the PFL, he was looking great. And I think it was maybe this... he had a couple fights overturned to a no contest. I think that was maybe due to a failed drug test. But, you know, he came into the UFC. He had that one fight against Herbert Burns, Gilbert Burns' brother. Looked great. Then he fought Cub Swanson, like age 40 Cub Swanson, and just got destroyed by Cub Swanson, KO'd. Comes back, wins against Tucker Lutz, who's, you know, not a very big name, and then, you know, loses to Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres. Now he's taking on Nathaniel Wood, who's a great fighter himself, but he's another guy who was, you know, had some good win. He had a nice little win streak until he fought Muhammad Naimov, so he's coming off a loss, but I think he gets this one done. So I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood on that one. Huge favorite, too. Oh my goodness. So there's my boy. I've been telling you guys about this guy forever. Right? We already know. Even last UFC pick video, I posted my bet right on the pick video. Win or lose, I don't care. This guy has won me so much money. Muhammad Mokaev, he's my bet this weekend. Taking on Kape. And the main thing interesting here is, look, he was on the main card. He was on the main card. Third, right under Aspinall and Leon Edwards. And now, look, they brought him all the way down to the early prelims. Not even the prelims. He's on the early prelims. Very disrespectful. I don't know why the sudden change, because last week I checked this card. He was on the main card. Now I checked the card today, and he's on the early prelims. What is going on? Extremely disrespectful to a guy like Muhammad Mokaev, who, in my opinion, probably should get the title shot if he wins this fight. The guy's got how many fights he's won in a row? 35 wins in a row? Let me say that again. 35 wins in a row, including his amateur and professional career. 12-0 as a professional. The guy is insane, man. 22-0 or something crazy as in the amateurs. The guy is insane, man. He's on a huge win streak, destroying everybody. Completely destroyed Tim Elliott. Now, his last fight, it was a little lackluster performance. But sometimes you're going to have off nights, right? I mean, we've talked about this before. Some guys are going to have off nights. You can be the best guy in the world. You're going to have an off night, right? LeBron James, Michael Jordan, those guys are the best in the world. They have off nights all the time, I've seen. Right? John Jones has had multiple off nights. Look at the first fight with Gustafsson, Reyes, Thiago Santos. I would call those off nights for him. So it's okay. Everyone wants to shit on you after you have one bad performance. I would not shit on Muhammad Mokaev, especially in England and Manchester. This is his backyard. He's fighting out of Manchester. He's born in Dagestan. But I think he gets it done. And if you guys seen here, a lot of money is going to go on this guy, which I don't like. Because when I took Muhammad Mokaev last week, it was minus 120. Now he's minus 140. So I suggest, if you want to follow me, take that bet now, because those odds are just going to get worse. I'm telling you, by the time the fight starts, he's going to be minus 180, close to minus 200, 100%. So if you guys want feeling what I'm feeling, take him now. The last one I'm going to touch on here is Mick Parkin fighting Lucas Brzeski. Mick Parkin, this guy's been flawless. Beat Kyle Machado on that last fight night. Beat Muhammad Usman, Kamaru Usman's brother. He looked very good on the Contender Series. The guy's undefeated. I don't know why he's on the early prelims, but it is what it is. And Lucas Brzeski, on the other hand, he's got 3 losses in his last 4 fights, and he's fighting a guy who's undefeated in his hometown. And he's a big underdog, so I think he's going to get smoked. Even though his last fight he did beat another guy who was undefeated, 11-0, Valter Walker. But Mick Parkin is much better than Valter Walker. So I'm going to go with Mick Parkin on that one. And, those are your picks for UFC 304. What a great card, man. I can't wait for this one. If you guys need a place to bet, BetUS, promo code Iceman. If you guys tune in to Flow Grappling August 3rd, you'll see me on there. I'll be grappling on August 3rd, brown belt, gi, 170-pound division. So good luck, and let's make that money. Out.